Welcome to the Buylist. This is episode 21.
This is not financial advice. This is cardboard. Let's dive into it, Ted. What are we talking about this week?
Yes, we are deep diving again, man. We are looking at some Majestics that I think this week all four of them are buys, right? So, some good value out there still. Flesh and Blood it looks like we're in like a summer lull. Like, I think we talked about this last week on the EV episode as well. That things are just kind of chilling right now. And it shows up in the Majestics as well a little bit as I started looking through for my cards, picking my cards out for this episode.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot of people who are maybe more seasoned in not only like TCG collecting, but just the collecting space in general. Say that like usually this summer there enters kind of a lull period as people are, going outside and doing things that are fun. So one of my friends is actually in the coin collecting, and I forgot what word he used for it, but he said like the summer is definitely a very quiet period in terms of coin collecting. So it would not be surprising to see it like pass through into TCGs as well.
Yeah, that collectability is kind of like that same niche, right? Probably completely different people. Maybe I think your buddy might be pretty rare coin collector and card collector, like TCG collector, right? Not like baseball and sports card collectors, because I think those kind of line up a little bit more. But yeah, that's interesting to hear that, and I think we've kind of hit that, and we've definitely hit that on the like just lull for competitive events, right? This weekend was the last RTN. Last RTN weekend, I punched my ticket to Vegas, which was pretty sweet. Third year in a row, squeaking it in there with my one and done. Oh man, it was a stressful day. I need to learn how not to put so much pressure on myself on these things, because I was a mess there for a little bit on Saturday, but pulled it together, made it to the finals, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. But yeah, so I think with that,
Wait, Ted, listen, everybody, Ted's being modest. He crushed it. He crushed souls, and we aren't just a couple finance bros over here. All right, we got the wares.
yes, I did end up with the
Get the wares
Jubil.
out, Ted.
Yes.
Yeah. We got the wares to prove it. Listen, we're multi-talented over here. We're dual threats, as they say.
Yeah, I technically didn't take home the win. It was very late. I was on like a 25-hour fast. So I was it was a finals, that's for sure. But I got the Jubil. It's a lot of fun. Good friend of mine was in the finals with me, so yeah, good fun. And just happy to punch that ticket.
Ted would have crushed it. Just so everyone's aware.
I would have tried. Yeah, let's move on, Nate. Let's dive right in here, huh? So your picks are up here first, and your first pick is a race face this week.
Yep. So there's gonna be a theme with some of my cards. I don't think anyone knows a race face is $3.
I agree with you.
If you walked up to someone on the street and said, "Hey, a race face is $3," they'd be like, "What did you just say to me?" But then if you also went into an LGS and said a race face was $3, they'd be like, "That ain't right," because it ain't.
Yeah,
it's probably one of the lowest points for this card since it's been released. And this card has been as high as like 20, and as you can see, like it got bought out a couple times, and then like it going down to $3. It's kind of just like moved out of the meta. It's not really nearly as relevant right now, but I think that with Prism coming back, with Vincetti, the spaghetti monster, we don't know what her ability is going to be, but if it has anything to do with Runeblade or Shadow cards, Erase Face will be relevant there. And it has this little thing in the corner that says 6, and that's good into people who think Dromai is a playable hero, because Dromai is not a playable hero.
Yeah.
If anyone was not aware yet.
perfect segue, because I was going to add in one thing that you didn't mention, Nate, is that if you had a chance to look at the meta for the battle hardened in overseas in Europe, the name is slipping, or the location is slipping my mind right now. Oldhim kind of died off. I don't have the exact numbers in memory, but Oldhim was pretty low due to his LL status. I think people are just kind of over it, right? They want to try something new. Jomai showed up in force. I think she had a very high number, and Phi was kind of sitting there mid pack as far as represented hero, and I think that's going to keep going up because I saw some conversion. He did convert. This is a good card against Phi. It kind of like, at a minimum, it stops his sword swing, which 3 damage against Phi or taking away that damage from him is not nothing, right?
Wait, Ted, you talked about this Dromai hero, but how did that Dromai do? Did the Dromai convert, even though being one of the most represented decks in the field?
They do not convert.
What?
Yeah,
No
Dromai,
way! Dromai being the most represented deck and not converting at all? Oh,
yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, Dromai is kind of getting a rep, man. She's tough.
She's not a good hero.
I mean, she's close, but yeah, she has some issues. But I mean, $3, the rainbow foil is $10, Nate. Dude, come on. The rainbow foil being at $10 is like making me scratch my head a little bit. I'm like, man, I should buy some of those. Mostly because I have some heavy bags. And like and I would like to lower my cost basis on the race face rainbow foils. So yeah, full disclosure there. Like 14 sold in the last 7 days, 100 of them sitting on TCG Player. Yeah, these cards just not being bought right now. And February 6th, this was like $15, or like February 10th, it was like over $15. And it's just, you can see it on the graph just trickling down. I do agree with you. This card is ripe for a comeback in this new meta.
Yeah. I mean, like, as much as Dromai is not playable, people still show up with that deck routinely over 10% of the field. So like, you have to have a plan for it, even if it's terrible. And it's been the same basically since Prism's release. Like, Prism could barely convert, and then like all of a sudden she won a couple big major events, and then she went bye-bye. But
yeah, Dromai's a couple dragons away, I think, right? Though they might print something spicy and be like, uh-oh.
No, they won't. It's fine.
They're scared of Illusionist now.
No, I'm not. But if I do get scared of Illusionist, I'll have a race face under my pillow, so I'll be fine.
Yeah, big time buy on these for sure.
Yeah, and it kind of we can kind of jump into the next card because it goes along the same vein. Amnesia. I mean, a lot of these have actually sold in the last 7 days. This thing's moving. And when these cards like get set at these floors, it takes a lot of movement for these cards to move. And we're starting to see like a lot of sell through. And I think this card is going to start to move because it affects a lot of different. One, it's really good in the Katsu, and I think now that Oldhim is gone, Katsu's stonks have definitely risen. I think Katsu is very playable in the Lexi, and is just a very strong deck now that Bonds of Ancestry has been printed. So, like, this is just a good sideboard card because it blocks 3, it attacks for 6, and it's good in the Katsu, and it pops things. So, like, it's a great switch target for Yuzuri as well. Like, I know the list that finished second at, where was the calling at?
The last calling?
Yeah, in Europe. It was like
not Poland.
No one actually knows. Place
Birmingham?
I'm not sure. Birmingham's coming up. I'm sorry, EU. I don't know where your cities are or what they're called. But that deck was running like 3 Nourishing Emptiness, which basically has blank text, but is a 6.
Yep.
And it finished second, but it was, I mean, I think that Amnesia is definitely more playable and has more applications other than like the one of high roll potential where you need to get on turn 0 and you're like, haha, it has Dominate. Because it has all the same characteristics. The Amnesia also hits a couple of like other fringe cards like Dromai's Ash, Glistening Steelblade also is oddly affected by this because Glistening Steelblade has to target Dawnblade. In that card, if you've ever played against Dory and they play Glistening Steelblade, you're probably pretty sad.
Yeah, you don't like to see that card come out. it's a rough go.
Not
I
very
mean,
fun.
yeah. 99 cents though, man. Like you can look at the graph here and this card's just like tanked. I know you and I talked about it when they spoiled this card, that like didn't quite realize that everything was self-referential in the game. So
Yeah.
I thought this was literally like crippling crush, can't crush anymore, or you know what I mean? I was like, holy smoke, CNC just got knocked off the pedestal. I think we got a new king here. Unfortunately, I would have liked to see it do that. Maybe it's too powerful, probably, but I think
Definitely definitely too powerful.
yeah, it's definitely too powerful. So I understand why it's not like that. But I mean, like it was at like $5 a couple months back. Now it's at like 99 cents, $4 for a rainbow foil if you like to have those. Definitely a buy just to have. Because yeah, as you had mentioned, Nate, Katsu definitely got let out of the box. Yeah, for sure.
I think the most important thing, like looking at this, is like the sell-through rate, right? Like we do not typically see like 63 copies of a card move in 7 days. Like that's a lot. So like if that pace keeps up, those listings will evaporate quickly, and this card will move north even quicker.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I was a little surprised when I saw 63 pop up too. I was like, "Whoa, okay, it's moving at a pretty good clip there." So,
yeah.
All right, let's jump over to my picks. My first pick, speaking of Dory, is Ironsong Pride. So this card is gross. It's super good. It's probably going to be in all Dory decks, as we had mentioned on this channel for maybe the last couple episodes. That now that Oldhim's gone, Dory's definitely let out of the box as well. She's let out of her prison that Oldhim put her in, and this is a card that just gets that engine running real quick. It's an instant, which kind of the first time it was played against me, I was like, wait, what? You got something on my turn? What's happening here, Dory? Like this ain't right. So yeah, they put counters on your turn at the end before the end phase, and then they go to theirs and they slap you with a Dawn Blade. So really good. $2.20. If you think you might want to be playing Warrior, pick these up now. I think Dory's going to get more popular. There's going to be Warrior support coming in Dusk Till Dawn. Yeah, I mean, only 26 sold out of 100 on TCG players, so definitely some stock out there right now. Yeah, I think this card's been like always considered to be really powerful, but for some reason, well, just because Dory hasn't been really playable, right? It's just kind of sat there and collected dust.
I think it's also like one of the other things too is this card is not restricted to Dory. We're only talking about Dory. This is just a warrior instant. Like if Bolton wants to play Raiden and there's like Raiden on hit deck, this card will probably go in.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
If there's another sword that gets released that Bolton wants to play that maybe fixes him being an unplayable hero, this might go in there. If we get an adult Kasai, everybody keep your pants on at home, but like that card is going to go in adult Kasai.
Yeah.
So I think it's sitting at $2. This is a warrior generic essentially because it's not restricted to Dory.
That's a good point. I was kind of singularly focused in on Dory, but yeah, that's a good point. We could see some pretty big shakeups in the warrior class come Dusk Till Dawn. In fact, you know what? I think we'll probably see. I think that class needs some help, and unless they do like all light cards for Bolton to like pump him up, which I don't think they'll do, I think Warriors probably gonna shake it up a bit come Dusk Till Dawn. That's my hot speculation.
I believe it.
All right, let's jump to my last card, the granddaddy of them all, Arcanite Skullcap. I think this card. So this is an interesting card to deep dive on. It kind of just hit me right before, while I was setting up the stream, Nate. I was like, you know what's a good card to talk about that we probably should have talked about earlier in this series is Arcanite Skullcap, because I think locally I try to like pound the drum for this card a lot, especially with newer players. Because there's a lot of chatter around Crown of Providence, right? We talk about that card every other week. Oh man, it's $300. Oh, it's $250. Yes, it's expensive because it's really good. But this card is perfect for a new player. Like a new player that like played the game a couple times, really likes it, and wants to get a little bit upgrade the deck, get that XP and cash it in, take some of that money, and upgrade their deck. $47 for the non-foil from Everfest, $63 for the rainbow foil from Arc, which I think is a value. These we know Arc's out of print for a long time, hard to get. We've talked about that last week. Yeah, I mean, it's just a solid card, man. Get you Arcane Barrier 3, which can be relevant at times. Not so much recently. You're really never going to be lower than Kano, so this is like a dead card. But it definitely is a unique set of text, right? Arcane Barrier 3, if you're lower health, is kind of neat, but yeah.
There's a Tree Frog Dash that made top 8 at the Battle Hardened in, I think it's Metropro Woo.
Wow.
That was the Battle Hardened, at least. I don't remember what the calling was at. Oh, calling was Antwerp.
Antwerp, yeah.
It's coming back to me. But they were running Skullcap because they cared more about the block than filtering their arsenal.
Yeah, I went through my whole rant and forgot to mention the basic tenet of it having 3 block. If you figure out how to use it properly, derp. That's like the whole thing about this. Is so yeah, you get 1 extra block on Crown of Providence, but your arsenal's at risk. I mean, the thing is like you can use this to block if you're playing the games, right, and you get lower health just a little bit, if you can know how to take your damage, right? This is like maybe a long lost art. This was something that I had to learn when I started the game, is try to manage this and get max value out of this card. So yeah, you can throw this in front of a CNC, right, and still get 2 block out of it, and protect your arsenal that way. It's just not as solid of a plan, right? Crown just says put me in front and it's you're good.
I can see a world too where Bravo in this upcoming meta literally just submits like 13 armor. You submit this, tech plating, crater fist, steel braid buckler, and iron rot legs, and just say, yeah, I'm gonna start at freaking 53 life, and I'm gonna throw big ding dongs at your face.
Just go.
And I don't even care about a hammer.
Yeah, just go Hulkbuster armor and just like armor on top of armor.
Seriously.
Yeah, get those altars going right now. That's a great idea.
Dude,
Hulkbuster yeah. Bravo.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, just a full fridge. Yeah,
as a Lexi player, please no.
Yeah, yeah, I could see that happening too, man. And that's scary because like so we talked about this in our spoiler chat on the live stream last week, but like if he can just keep his hand and throw, like if his hand's good enough, he can just throw a bunch of armor at it, keep healthy, and then hit you with a Starstruck, then comes back, you can't do nothing, hits you with something else, crippling crush, whatever. It's like it's on, and that's the Guardian way, man. They literally just pound you with a hammer into the dirt, like, and then you die. Like so that full armor suite could definitely come in handy for sure. But yeah, I mean, yeah. So for like new players, I think this card is great. Keep an eye on it. Yeah, $47 is what you want for your legendary armor, right? Like super solid effect and affordable for a TCG, compared to the other options.
Yeah. 100%.
All right, Nate. So that's the 4 cards we want to dive into. Buy list this week. I'll let you go first. You got any? You looking for any spicy cards out there?
Seek and Destroy. I've been organizing my collection and realized I only had 2. So
you need to find one of those guys, huh? I've done the same thing recently. I'm like, how do I only have 2 Rattlebones? Like, what is going on?
Destroys. Need to go grab one of those. That's also a really cheap card. $2. Great card.
Yeah, that's a good card. Yeah.
Like it, but I think that kind of is more over the issue that it's in Tales of Aria, and that set is not. That's Ted was messaging me over the weekend like, can Tales EV drop to 40 for unlimited? And I was like, probably.
Yeah,
Creepers is back down to like 167 today.
That's nuts. Yeah, so we were talking about it, if you've been paying attention on Twitter, which I was kind of watching throughout the weekend, it sounded like there was enough confirmed wins for Briar somehow. I mean, I made a pretty bold statement the last episode saying there was a 0% chance to see LLs. I underestimated the community's hate for Rosetta Thorn and just like not sleeving up Lexi this weekend. So it sounds like she's at an unconfirmed 998. So she just needs one somewhere in the world, one win somewhere in the world, not on Twitter. Yeah. I understand that Thorn is like good, like real good. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, don't get me wrong. I'm not over here just trying to like convince everyone Thorn is like perfectly fine and balanced and like, I don't think it's like broken, okay? But the thing that bothers me is that it like kind of nerfs Viserai for no reason. Like Viserai just takes it in the nuts because Briar was good when she was redline, right? He just gets Rochambeau'd, right? And it's just like, come on, man.
Straight nut shot for that guy.
Yeah, like you're gonna have to go back to Reaping because I don't see how you play Viserai without Shrill. Shrill's so good that I don't think you can like Nebula Blade. I maybe it's out there. I'm a smooth brain, so like I'll have to really think about it. But yeah, that kind of bums me out that Viserai just kind of takes it in the chin.
I think there's probably like a 1-cost build out there that like relies a little bit more on like rune chain generation and then like kind of like bigger like pop off turns.
Yeah, maybe. It's just Shrill's so good, dude. Like Shrill is like
a good card. Yeah.
But yeah, so she might LL, and so then we were talking about it's like, man, and Briar LLs, Old Hymn's gone, like Tales of Aria is in for some dark days.
Yeah.
They need to.
In all reality, I do need to pick up a Marvel Hanabe Blaster because I love that card.
That's a pretty card. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, buy list for me this week, Nate. I've already picked up these 2 items, but Coldfoil Pierce Realities are like $10. Seems kind of cheap, especially with the Eloquence tokens we saw. So I picked up 3 of those. Coldfoil Mechanoids, we talked about that last week on our live stream. Yeah, picked those up because they were like $17, and it's like
too cheap.
Okay. Card's hard to pull. I think I pulled like 2 of them out of like 10 to 12 cases of Dynasty. So
yeah,
take it how you will there. And then I just kind of keep an eye on the Codex Marvels from Outsiders, to be honest. Inertia Blood Rot's finally like where it should be, and it's cheaper than the other 2, but not by much. Inertia is right there around 140 still, which is I don't know, man. I still think that card's super hard to pull. It's kind of
hard to pull.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised that either of the other 2 Marvels are sub 200, to be honest.
Yeah. Just out of a rarity standpoint, I guess like, yeah, playability is what's probably pulling them down, but man, they're rare.
Yeah.
I'm running a bounty on my box break streams where if you pull a Marvel from a box break or a box battle, which is 2 players split packs, I'm giving away Tales of Aria first edition box. Again, not too spicy there, but then also an Arcane Rising unlimited box. 2 boxes. I'm trying to give away 2 boxes for the last 3 weeks, and I cannot pull one of those damn cards. I haven't pulled one yet either. And that's why I put the bounty on it, because I want to see when it pulled by, on my stream. Can't find it.
So you basically gave away a coupon for a free kids meal at McDonald's and an actual booster box.
Yes.
The free kids meal at McDonald's actually might be more expensive than that Tails box.
Yeah. Hey, it is first edition, which is slightly better, but yeah.
Yes, that's.
So
I mean, like, listen, people are actually paying like $80 a box for that for some reason.
Yeah, Hobbiesville bundle deals like hit you with hey, you got to take this Tails though if you want this sweet deal. So I'm like, all right. But I always try to do like giveaways and stuff, right? So I do, I do a free box giveaway every month in my Discord and stuff. So just trying to like make those bounties kind of fun. And we're getting to the point where Outsiders is less fun to open, right? So yeah, but I have great supporters and we've had a lot of fun with it. So, but yeah, Marvel's hard to pull, man. Come on, market. Again, maybe that summer drought we're in.
Dude, that summer drought will end once Dusk Till Dawn spoilers are upon us.
Yeah, I think that engine will rev up for a couple weeks, for like a month or so, for sure.
Oh, it's like, I'm sure as soon as we get hit with spoiler season, the money machine will actually just explode from excitement.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, I think that's gonna do it, man. Thank you everyone for watching. Please like, subscribe, hit the bell, join my Discord, come hang out. But yeah, I think that's it.
Yeah. Peace.